Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, I appreciate that the time is never right for my colleagues on the other side of the aisle to engage in worker safety legislation. In fact is, they were invited numerous times, their staff, to participating in the drafting sessions. All they wanted to do was see the language, not participate. This is over an 8-month period of time, the consideration of this legislation, where we met with groups all across the mining community, for employers, employees, communities, governors, enforcement agencies, federal, state, and local, and all of that together. We worked with the mining companies themselves. I'm very honored to have 2 letters, one from Patriot Coal, the CEO of Patriot Coal, and one from the CEO of Consul Energy, reflecting on the process that we went through to arrive at this legislation and the improvements that were made. They were grateful to the extent to which they had been included in this process. I don't say they support this legislation in every item in it, but the fact of the matter is this was a very open process, and it was open for one reason: because we wanted the best answers to provide for the safety of these miners and the security of their families. This bill has the support of those who go into the mines every day. This bill has the support of the families of those who go into the mines every day. Why? Because they know how badly the system has been gamed by mine owners who really don't care about the safety of their workers, of their miners, of the members of their communities. Unfortunately, it's too many mine owners. It's a small number, but it impacts a huge number of miners who work in those mines where they disregard the law, where they instruct people to do things that are in violation of the law, where they disrupt the inspection process, where they disrupt the enforcement process. That's how they run their companies. We've watched it play out on the financial pages of the newspapers as one of the very large mining companies, the massive mining companies, struggle with the idea of whether or not they could keep their CEO that is so strongly identified with being against the interest of miners, of working people in violation of the law, of overlooking the safety concerns of their miners. And finally, they decided that he should retire. Unfortunately, they also decided he should go with a very big golden parachute. But the fact of the matter is, this is about protecting miners. And I want to also thank Chairman Conyers of the Judiciary Committee and Mr. Scott of the Judiciary Committee for agreeing to this bill and letting us move it forward before the end of this session. Finally, I want to thank a gentleman that Mr. Ray Hall introduced us to, and that is Stanley Goose Stewart, who was one of our witnesses who captured the attention of this committee on a bipartisan basis, the governor of the state and the Senator Rockefeller from the state, as he explained what was going on in this mine to the detriment of the workers, leading to the death of these 29 men, and how they were prevented from speaking out, and how they were intimidated, and how people were discharged if they tell the truth about what's taking place in the mines. That's why this legislation is necessary, because there's no other place for these miners to go to get safety. There's no other place for them to go to get justice. There's no other place for them to go to get enforcement of the law. And it's only the law that keeps them in a safe working place. But unfortunately, there's still miners in this day and age who insist that they have a right to violate that law. Today, if you do it, you get a slap on the wrist. Pass this law and it's a felony. And that's what's unfortunately necessary. We've tried it the other way with self-enforcement. We've tried it the other way, and it hasn't worked. I've interviewed too many families that have lost people in the mine, and the time has come to stop that, and I urge my colleagues to support this legislation, and let's honor the commitments that everybody makes the first 48 hours after one of these tragedies takes place, that we're going to make sure it never happens again. Well, we haven't done it, but this is a big step forward. And I thank my colleagues for their consideration of this legislation and urge their support. And I yield back the balance of my time.